Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the broadcast, here, the Star Ladder I-League Invitational Season number 2 coming at you. What is the European qualifiers now? We are excited to be here. Kicking things off, we have, I want to say 12 teams here in this event. Only one of them going to be going to the Invitational and playing for that prize pool, and definitely looking forward to seeing what happens here, which team will represent the European region here in Star Ladder. With that said, I'm Breaky CPK. I'm going to be joined by Tsunami here as my co-caster, and we got Digital Company going up against, well, they're known as Friends. They're tagged up Comanche. I guess a little bit of interchanging going on, perhaps, with the teams right here. But that's the matchup at hand. Our first of two best-of-threes today. Tsunami, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm trying to crunch the numbers on this one at the moment, just trying to figure out what the state of the teams are. So here's what the Wikipedia is telling me. All right, so Friends doesn't appear to have an active roster available, and all I see is former players under the tag Friends.
Yeah.
The two names that are last given articles about is that No Fear joined Cyber. I don't know if you pronounce it Angie, but I'm just going to go ahead with calling it Angie because that's actually the match that we'll have after this one. But yeah, No Fear joined Cyber Angie, and Yoku joined Cyber Angie, who were both ex-friends. And Aloha Dance and Afterlife joined Vegas Squadron. And so that's what I see for Friends. And then on Cyber Angie, yeah, it looks like it's that Havost team that was put together with Havost, NT, Yoku, Chuvash, and No Fear. So I look at a Comanche lineup, and the only active player that they have under the Comanche tag is, unsurprisingly, the only person who is tagged as Comanche here, which is Arc. So yeah, I don't really know what is the deal if they are going to be Comanche. Like, Seneko was formerly Vegas Squadron.
That's right.
But I guess Vegas Squadron has a new roster now with Aloha Dance, G, Afterlife, Silent, and Sema. So yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but these are all 5 known players, except I don't know Magical, but I've seen the other 4, and yeah, whatever name they are, I'm sure. I mean, they are arguably more well-known than Digital Company, who I am not familiar with at all, so
yeah,
every little bit of notability helps.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, CIS region, I guess, friendly and amongst sharing players and playing a lot of different teams, perhaps. But yeah, Digital Company, I want to say I saw a little bit of before. God, it might have been the Pro Dota. It might have been. It's another event. I definitely saw them in. They looked all right from what I remember, but. If I had to lean towards a team, perhaps Friends being the favorite, and of course, I guess according to EGB.com, actually, they are the favorite. So, anyways, we got heroes to talk about. We definitely got some fun stuff here. We have a Monkey King was the first pick, but then Treant Protector into the Bat Rider response from Friends into Slark right here. But get to see Treant Protector. Haven't seen him much yet.
Yeah, I've so far been. So I can definitely see why the hero is being picked in competitive. It's just not in the style that I was hoping to see him be picked, because I was hoping for sick guys strats, and it's kind of difficult to rely so heavily on one spell, especially because these days, whenever you pick a 4 or 5 position, they need to be very good at rotating around the map. And if you're just kind of sitting around all day, invisible as a tree, trying to bash people, then you're not really finding an opportunity to roam around. So most of the time you'll just see him oftentimes going straight into the jungle with an Iron Talon, or just doing regular pulling and roaming things, but not really spending too much time in guys in the early stages of the game, just mainly prioritizing living armor. And on the enemy side, Shadow Shaman is a hero that I also have not seen very much, but received a pretty substantial damage buff in 7.04, I want to say. And so, yeah, a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is the return of Shadow Shaman," but more and more people will realize that, yeah, damage is great, but he's still a very slow hero, still a very mana-intensive hero, and a very cooldown-intensive hero as well, with that Serpent Ward's not really being the most flexible pushing tool. So he had a brief moment and kind of fell off. But specifically in this game against a Treant Protector, Shackles will provide multiple damage instances, so maybe it allows you to burn off some living armor. Same thing with Slark Dark Pact, so there are some good counters against living armor on heroes, and then obviously living armor on towers. Shadow Shaman, you bring him to a tower, he will take the whole thing down, living armor or no, so that's the justification for that pick.
Witch Doctor coming out here. But yeah, Shadow Shaman's interesting. I was having a discussion with another co-caster recently, and the idea that it would be fun to see almost perhaps a solo Shadow Shaman of sorts. Maybe not necessarily in that support role. Maybe more of like a mid Shadow Shaman, dare I say. Kind of getting those levels early on, setting up ganks with ward traps and pushing towers effectively. But it looks like it is going to be more of that support option right here. Invoker now picked up from Digital Company to go with it. But yeah, seeing the Shadow Shaman in general, another note on that, it's just this is just one of the lowest tier heroes right now in competitive Dota 2. So kind of shocking to see it right here. We're definitely getting some interesting stuff, though, and that's what you got to hope for in a matchup such as this one of Friends versus Digital Company. So
yeah, it's possibly because some teams are still trying to figure out how to deal with Treant Protector. I don't really know how well Treant is doing so far. I don't think he's been like burning up the competitive scene. I know he has been getting first picked a lot, but I don't think he's been getting first banned like at all. And so teams aren't concerned about letting a Treant through because I guess there's time to experiment and figure out ways to deal with the hero. And Invoker is another good hero to deal with Treant Protector's tower sustain capabilities because Forged Spirits will gladly just split push while Invoker's doing other stuff, or just help burn off living armor instances whenever a team is pushing. And then, I mean, Gyrocopter, wow, okay, there's just a whole bunch of random off-meta heroes. Yeah, I was about to talk about Gyrocopter, but yeah, Underlord has actually been seen far less frequently than Gyrocopter, so I mean, really the only reason that I can give for picking this hero these days is for, yes, push strategies. So Firestorm is still a good spell. It has not gotten nerfed, really. The only thing that Underlord has received substantially since his, you know, competitive debut was the nerf to Atrophy Aura, so he's not as dominant of a solo laner. But Comanche don't really have the most intimidating lanes anyway. Like, yes, Witch Doctor, Gyrocopter, Treant, if these three heroes are in a tri-lane situation, then you are going to get bashed, you're going to get Paralyzing Cast, and you're going to get Rocket Barraged. But Underlord's a fairly tanky hero, and Pit of Malice will make Gyrocopter a little bit... It'll be difficult for Gyrocopter to always stay in range to get a full Rocket Barrage off, so... Yeah, I don't really know what to make of either of these drafts, to be honest.
It seems a little all over the place. I'll admit that, and I don't know. Maybe I'm making just a blanket statement that's not fair, but I feel like the CIS region especially has history of kind of just doing stuff like it just seems a little all over the place from the casting that I've been doing here recently. When I happen to cast some CIS region, it just not really necessarily a fine-tuned strategy, at least the obvious strategy idea. But, yeah, even as you mentioned with the Underlord, you know, the push, sure, with the Shadow Shaman. But then it's like a Slark thrown in there. He's not necessarily going to assist that Monk King either. It's more of the gank pressure. If anything, Invoker sure has some of that. But it's kind of like it's a average of several different things, not necessarily going all out on a specific strategy, which I guess in itself could be good. But, man, we got some questions definitely that are looking forward to being answered here in what is game number 1 of this first best of 3 of the day. Again, guys, we got a fun day ahead of us here, kicking off the Star Ladder Invitational season number 2 here for our European qualifiers. And I have a connection failure.
Yeah, no, it's just been showing up. It'll go away.
Okay. Well, hopefully. There we go. Yeah. All right, we are good.
Yeah, I feel like both teams kind of forgot about the Slark, to be honest, because I don't think I've seen a first phase picked Slark in ever, and so it's a risky first pick, but I think Comanche was more interested in like getting their own strategy going, and DC was just like, let's just do everything in our power to make this Treant's life very unpleasant.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's not like this is a bad game for Slark by any means, but I mean, it should have been a worse game for Slark if you pick it first phase, because so far on Are we going to call him Comanche, or are we going to call them?
Let's call it Comanche,
Friends?
because yeah, they are tagged up Comanche. So.
30 seconds to
All right,
go.
yeah. So Comanche don't really have like great anti-Slark heroes, and especially like TA, her Dark Pack will burn off refraction pretty easily.
Yeah.
Witch Doctor, Paralyzing Cast is going to be utterly useless, as will the Death Ward most of the time. Gyrocopter, yes, technically Homing Missile can be used to kind of keep track and keep vision of a Slark, but he can just walk face first into it and know exactly when to Dark Pact it off, and so Slark doesn't have the most reliable disable on the side of Comanche, and even Batrider, that massive ultimate, is going to be, you know, a little bit difficult for Mag to pull off successfully.
Well, again, we'll see what they make happen right here. As far as the lane setup goes, we do have an interesting thing to talk about here. Gyrocopter going to end up in the top lane. Tree and Protector already up here himself. Witch Doctor was acting like he was also going up there, but now he's actually roaming more towards the middle, if not all the way to the bottom lane even. So some rotations from either side happening. Rasta and Slark heading towards the bottom lane themselves. So it's kind of interesting. We're setting up a 2-1-2 apparently.
Yeah, Dire had placed this ward near the Radiant top tier 1 tower, and so it looks like they don't want to have to give... Oh wow, this train is going in on Monkey Protector and Monkey King. Yeah, so it's if you give like Underlord a 1v1 matchup against a Batrider will always win that. And meanwhile, Cast is kind of bot lane, but unlucky bounces. This is the problem with Shadow Shaman though. He's a very, very slow hero.
One more
And
auto
I
attack.
can't believe he survives.
Oh, First Blood coming out right there. Yeah, as you're saying though, weakness of the hero definitely showing off right there. He's not the best at surviving, especially with lack of levels. So they're going to take advantage of that here with a Batrider Witch Doctor lane.
Yeah, and it is kind of a mean lane, but the presence of Witch Doctor pretty much cuts down the biggest efficacy of the Shadow Shaman, which is you have Shackles, and then you just have Slark going to town, getting a lot of Essence Shift stacks. But I mean, Paralyzing Cast may not be a great stun, but it's enough of a stun to disable a channel, and that's all you need against against Shackles.
Well, Shadow Shaman back here in the fight. You got Slark trying to play aggressive with the Dark Pact, but not even going to land necessarily. Going to go on to the Batrider, but Batrider applies a Fire Flight. Out comes a Maledict, and Slark actually, he may be ticking down right here. He's going to pop his magic stick, if anything, but that's going to be a kill. Nothing more you can do about that. Even Monkey King roaming on over, but man, this really is proven to be a pretty brutal lane with a Batrider Witch Doctor. Not something you would say often, but they're causing an issue here in this case.
Yeah, a wise decision of Comanche to migrate the Witch Doctor down bot very quickly, because I'm sure ideally they were planning on giving this Batrider a solo lane now. They want to go aggressive again, but Smile misses the pounce.
Look at top lane. You got now it's just a solo Underlord. Of course, Monkey King rotating to the bottom lane, but Gyrocopter definitely going to be looking for some free farm here. Tree and Protector doing his darnest to stay near him and that Nature's guys, and looking to come out with those auto attacks here and pressure the Underlord, who does have the poor match. A middle lane, down goes Necroman there, playing the Invoker actually. Now bottom lane actually continuing though. They're going to try to catch Batrider and take advantage of this being solo. Dark Pact activated, and that should be enough for the kill. The leash still active, and yes, the final auto attack for Smile on the Slark. So finally, some revenge here for a digital company, but so that middle kill even looking pretty good for Comanche over here.
Yeah, although Witch Doctor did leave to that Batrider all alone, it's definitely worth it if you can get a kill in the mid lane, because TA gets a bigger boost, and now Mag wants to go aggressive. Monkey King kind of exposes himself, and let's see if he'll be able to hop on a tree quick enough. If Witch Doctor keeps damaging him, no, he's going to get away.
That's good. Not worth pursuing further, but yeah, how has that middle match been going? 19-5 versus a 12-4 Invoker, so again, obviously has a kill right there to work off of that, but already having a much better time, and this TA is definitely having a very, very good start. In fact, Invoker even having to deny his own Forged Spirit right there, trying to prevent TA from getting the last hit onto it. But, you know, he's feeling the pressure. That is very evident right here. Is that surprising to see TA with such a decisive lead here as far as the CS goes?
It's a pretty even matchup in terms of the heroes, but it can very, very quickly shift depending on how skilled the individual players are and how skilled the players are in the matchup. I don't know either of these players, but just looking at this, like, I can tell that Magical's definitely a lot more experienced in either this matchup or just experienced in general compared to Necroman.
God, Necroman stands out. I want to say, maybe even in the Kiev event, we saw him in the open qualifiers right there. But anyways, bottom lane, Monkey King has the Maledict applied. He saw Mag actually dealing with the leash initially, but the Dark Pack comes out. Now Mag gets the turn kill first on the roster right there, but he will end up falling in the end. At least the fire able to burn down the Shadow Shaman first, though, so getting some experience there. Treant Protector setting up here in the middle lane, meanwhile. But Invoker, I'm pretty sure he knows something's up, although he doesn't have the vision over there necessarily. Oh, that's a mistake, by the way. Double Observer Ward. Okay, no. The one's about to wear off, actually.
Yeah.
Just getting it down.
And Seneko, I don't know if he was spotted out by Shadow Shaman while he was waiting for his guys to come up. But now he might just punch Shadow Shaman. TA's not really in a position to follow up, though, but... Yeah, they... Actually, I don't know what Shadow Shaman did. Like, he had 2 wards in his inventory. Maybe he did see Treant Protector and then just, like, played dumb. Pretended like he was going to go place a ward, but then didn't.
He didn't ping him out initially, so yeah, I don't know if he actually ended up seeing him or not, but kind of ends up being an awkward circumstance where both sides just kind of stare at one another. Or
whatever the case, Invoker wants nothing to do with it and goes, hits up his shrine with the rest of his offlane heroes. So, yeah, TA is dominating this lane heavily. It's nearly as many less hits as this free-farming Gyrocopter, which Gyrocopter should be free-farming. It's against a solo Underlord, and it's a solo Underlord who has been zoned out enough that he's got to go back to base.
God, yeah, he's only 10-3 creep score. You usually expect at least, okay, Underlords, you know, having an okay time in the off lane, or in this case, you know, in the short lane, even the safe lane, whatever you want to call it. But it's not the case. I mean, he is having a struggle of a start himself. Well, he is level 4, almost level 5, so I guess that's one kind of positive, but even that's not necessarily the greatest either. I mean, Comanche just has all the answers right now, and overall it's just looking that much more dominant. In fact, they're going to rotate to the top lane. Is Witch Doctor up here, and Underlord, he'll need to be careful. Maledict is level 2. Going to apply it right there. Gyrocopter charging in. TPs are happening. Nice job with the Pit of Malice there. Actually stunning Arc initially, and he's just going to run. He's not even worried about getting the kill. He sees the TPs coming in, so no point to try to stick around, and, well, it's a distraction, I guess, despite not getting a kill there.
Yeah, forces out Monkey King rotation, forces out Shadow Shaman rotation. Now Slark is kind of scared in this bot lane as he has not hit level 6 yet. He's going in pretty aggressively, though, and Mag is going to take advantage of that Dark Pack going down.
Come back up right here, but yeah, he is keeping up that pressure, so Smile yet again pop that magic stick. But let's focus on Gyrocopter for a second right here. Not a hero we've seen often. I think we had the conversation before, the idea of the Ags eventually, how interesting that could be to see, but what do we expect to see earlier on? Maybe even like the Sange and Yasha, or a different route?
Yeah, I mean, I heavily prefer mid-game items on Gyrocopter first. Every single time I see Aghanim Scepter first, it fails miserably because the hero, there's no advantage to getting an Aghanim Scepter first. Like, the whole gimmick is that your, you know, whatever, side gunner attacks will proc. So whatever you have in terms of items like a Maelstrom or that Sange and Yasha, anything that will roll on an attack will get a chance to roll on your side gunner attack. But it doesn't really help your farm that much. It's the same thing with Drow Aghanim Scepter first item. Like, yeah, sure, it's great and very funny that your arrows split, but all of your arrows are just basic auto attacks. There's no spice attached to them, and so hopefully Gyrocopter is going to get figured out more and will get like Maelstrom, like I said, or yeah, Sange and Yasha is also good, especially seeing as how Comanche has a very run at you draft. Sange and Yasha would make a lot of sense. Midland, Shackles.
Shadow Shaman ports right in. The Shackles coming out. There's the Meatball, aka the Meteor on top of the TA, but those were fraction charges doing work at that on top of the living armor. It is tough to do damage to this guy, man. And that shows right there.
With Shackles level 1, not enough to burn off the refraction charges. Oh, in top lane. Nasty carry. It's pretty low, but Raindrop's going to protect him.
But yeah, Tina is going to be a difficult target to kill. We kind of see right there.
She's going to be exceptionally difficult, especially because she has such an incredibly large lead right now. That was not a trap that he wanted to explode.
Well, he's still going back in with plenty of auto attacks and doing the damage anyway, so.
And wow, Slark rotates over here. He's level 7 now, so he has Shadow Dance, but a really good ward placed by Seneko very preemptively, going to keep track of the dire jungle. And, I mean, Seneko himself has been managing to find levels, has hit level 3, and is, in fact, maxing out that living armor, which is almost always the case. It's just, do you take that one value point in Leech Seed and go 1-1-1, or do you just go for the max living armor? And seeing as how Seneko has not really been ganking, per se, makes sense to go for the living armor. And as you can see, all the tier 1 towers are very healthy on the side of Radiant. Meanwhile, bot lane, Smile, Sunstrike.
Ooh, not gonna hit though. Nice little dodge there, sidestep from Mag, expecting that to come in. So Slark applying the pressure though, and he's the kind of the shining hope so far here on the Dire side. He has 3,500 net worth. He's obviously behind the Gyrocopter and especially the TA, but overall not doing too shabby. He's got the power treads, the folding blade, 1,400 gold saved up. Doesn't have anything queued up currently. Keep an eye on what he decides to go for here. Shadow Blade would probably more the expected item here.
No.
He's going to find a nice haste trim meanwhile. But yeah, Invoker trying to recover.
God. Arc is going for Sudden Magnum Scepter.
He is?
I don't know why people... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they... Oh, mid lane. Witch Doctor. But in comes Mama TA. This is get away from my supports.
Radiant's top tower is under
First
attack.
item Ags. Yeah, so
Bad Rider.
Oh, is he finding somebody? He is. And
Finds
lasso
Invoker.
onto Invoker. Speaking of the
He has no
struggles,
mana.
they're going to continue, man. Oh, that's brutal for Invoker. He's just simply trying to recover, trying to get the hand of Midas still. And
Nope, and
That
Shadow
was-
Shaman.
Dire's bottom
Top
tower
rune,
is
dead.
under attack. You came too close to
and now
this.
bottom
Yeah,
lane.
things are looking pretty grim for DC.
Yeah.
I guess, hell, go for first out of mag. I don't care. Arc, your team is doing well enough that you can probably get away with it.
Yeah.
See, the other thing is that like I would even be okay with like a Midas into Aghanim Scepter
Radiant's
because
top
at least
tower is under
like you have a pretty solid guarantee at managing to transition into late game. But Aghanim Scepter is 4,200 gold for an item that really does not help you farm very fast.
No.
Like you can crunch the numbers and a lot of people can come up with excuses for it, but it's not a great farming accelerant by any means.
Well, we're at least going to get an idea of it here. With the again, when I brought that up earlier, I was not expecting first item. We haven't seen the first item. We don't see this here often, but a couple of times. You know, if anything, we see it more of the luxury later game. But not going to see it first here from Mark, at least from the looks of it. They're going to go on Undulor. Nothing that he can do. The destruction is brought to him. Monkey King's like, hey, I'm here, by the way. Smile. He'll jump in with the Dark Pack. They do catch Gyrocopter, but that point booster keeping the lives up. Not enough, though. The Sunstrike connects, and down goes the Gyrocopter, and that's a kill for Invoker, actually, a much-needed kill right there. And he'll gladly take. Blink Dagger, though, just picked up by Batrider, meanwhile.
Yeah, and seeing how this Slark has just not really had a particularly great lane. He's actually, I mean, he has gold just about for his Shadow Blade, so things could be worse, but he still has to be very scared of this Batrider moving forward, because right now Smile is playing very aggressively. He's using Dark Pact aggressively, and so Batrider can just like sit back and wait for his moment, and just as soon as you see the Dark Pact, go and get your moment with the Blink Lasso, and you know, the Slark's going to be down for the count, and I mean, hell, he might not even need to worry about Slark, go for something like the Invoker, or continue making this Invoker's life hell.
Freaking Desolator already finished on TA. 12 and a half minutes into the game. Just
Nope,
kidding
lasso.
right there. Batrider bottom lane, Lasso onto the Monkey King. In comes the call down, and Pablo, he's not getting out of that. He had to, if anything, run around it, and that just forced him to take more auto attacks. So well placed right there. And that's a kill into the tower kill, most likely.
Dire's bottom
Coming
tower
out for the
is
Radiant
under
side.
attack.
So momentum just continues across the board. And yeah, again, TA having that Desolator already. I'm sure the Blink Dagger perhaps going to be next in line for that mobility, but already so deadly. Point of the game.
Dire's
Yeah,
bottom
and
tower has
She's
fallen.
got a fat ancient stack, 3, 4. She's got a quad
Radiant's
stack.
top tower
That is
under
impressive.
attack.
Now look at that gold. Look at that net worth just balloon.
Yeah, she
Blink
started this
Dagger
with like
almost
500
certainly-
gold.
Yep. This is why you got to invest in yourself. I saw Witch Doctor stacking this earlier, and I these days you very rarely see a quad stack on Ancients, but looks like Comanche are paying close attention and it works out, and it may go for Roche pretty soon actually. So yeah, it looks like TA wants to go straight for that now.
That was essentially 1,100 gold in about 30 seconds right there for TA. That's the power of stacking. So well played. That's a team right there. And yeah, right into the Roshan pit. And that's going to be a very quick Roshan. Even if they had an idea this is going on, which I don't even think they do necessarily. it's wouldn't be able to react. And now bottom lane at least are gonna get a tier 1 tower. They do use the serpent wards here from Rasta, so
Roshan's under attack.
gonna get something out of it. But now they have an Aegis on the TA they have to deal with,
Radiant's bottom
as
tower
well as
has
being
fallen.
behind. But again, that Shadowblade is mentioned, picked up by Slark, really needing him to
Invisibility.
get some kills out of this. But it's not easy because the living armor going to constantly be coming out. Really, his only solid target, I guess, is that Witch Doctor, perhaps the Bat Rider, but not even that.
And especially now that every single tier 1 tower has gone down on DC. Blink Dagger is completed on this Bat Rider, as mentioned.
Radiant's
And
bottom
TA
tower
pretty
is
much,
under
yep,
attack.
she has her Blink Dagger money done now, so, oh wow, and scan as well for Radiant. Snake was walking around Invis.
Yeah, he is going to be spotted right here, spotted by the sentry initially. Meanwhile, Monkey King leaping from tree to tree. Call down is put down, not really hitting anybody though. Slark, he pounces away and he'll be fine, so at least gets away. Does he? Maledict? No, it's not going to be enough.
No, unfortunately, Arca does not have any points in homing missile, otherwise that would have been a great opportunity. But regardless,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
it was a kind of dangerous position for a Radiant team to be in. And well, if they can manage to, oh wait, Mag might be in trouble here. The Monkey King has spotted him, or other way around. Very nice,
throws the
stinky
lasso.
napalm.
Oh, and he voids the Boundless Strike on top of that. Oh, nice job with the Magic Stick, but he's like, ah, no, you're not going anywhere. That was very well played by Mag.
Yeah, that was. I mean, like you catch a very quick glimpse of Monkey King whenever he jumps in, if you have like that close of range to him. But like the presence of mind to go for the sticky napalm and then immediately lasso was well played, and the rest of his team was continuing to push out mid. May not be able to pull it because this is, yes, I mean, a maxed out. Oh, Hex. What the hell?
Now bottom lane.
Things are looking pretty Shadow Shaman trying to do there.
He just melted right there. That was basically a 2-shot. He could have come out, put it half-life from full with 1 hit, so. Yeah, I don't know what the game plan was there, but he gets spotted out. This is going to easily transition into a tier 2 tower push. Not much that Digital Company can do again to really stop this. That they just some way, somehow need to buy time for this Slark, especially the Invoker to recover. Quinn has a hand of minus now. Actually, he's going to be going the Yules, and I think this is more of a reaction to the game where usually we see the Axe coming up next, but he figures he needs more of a useful item at this point.
Bat Rider is getting very large, and Yules is a pretty common counter to the Bat Rider. It'll hopefully buy time for his teammates to converge on whoever gets lassoed. But yeah, no, this is not plan A, because plan A would be you build your own tornado with spells. You don't need to get the item tornado. And so it's a backup plan, but it may be enough of a stopgap because at this point, outer towers are going down, and high ground defense is pretty good for DC. They have maxed out Ether Shock, well not maxed out, but Shadow Shaman is maxing it out. They've got Meteor, which even though without it doesn't, even without an Aghanim Scepter, it still deals a lot of damage, and then of course they have that Firestorm, which we saw to draw back that tier 2 push mid, so Comanche will be able to take a lot of these outer towers, but they will need a pick before they can go for the high ground towers.
Dire's top tower
Lord
is
has the
under
mech
attack.
here, so going to be a nice item for one team fights coming up, going the Arcane Boots and eventually the Guardian Greaves, of course. But top secondary tower, they're probably just going to let this one fall. You know, can they really fight right now, especially with the Aegis up on T? Yeah, I don't think they're really too interested.
Radiant
So,
structures are
and I think going to try to trade as they put the Mass Serpent Ward at the bottom lane, Alacrity up on Invoker. And if they trade
Yeah,
right
but
here,
you drop these wards, then all of a sudden Radiant's like, well, that's one massive team fight ultimate down.
True.
There's no way that they can defend against this one. There's no way they can burn through my TA refraction very easily, because, I mean, what's your best shot? It's going to be Firestorm. I can walk out of that.
Underlord's coming back in, used his Dark Rift to do so, but Mag's like, hey, welcome to the party, baby. Out comes a call down, the Meteor in the middle of it, but the call down hitting Underlord several times. And he will end up dying. They're going to get zoned out. Speaking of zoning out, the Wukong's command going to be used by Monkey King in the background, but not really going to protect the racks right here. The Death Ward is also doing plenty of damage from the Witch Doctor. In the background himself, Necroman's kind of being forced out. He throws out an EMP from the distance, but this should easily be the melee racks. I mean, look at TA. He's just taking no damage. The refraction, the living armor, and he jumps and it does plenty of damage himself with that Desolator. Invoker goes down. He has a buyback, but is this almost a point where if you're a Digital Company, think about throwing in the flag, man? Because this is
Yeah,
brutal.
I don't often call sub 20-minute GGs, but this TA is just devastatingly large right now. She's going to send in a 4-staff on the Courier. No, the Courier is chilling at their secret shop. But yeah, they take 2 Raxes. I don't think DC will call GG. just, you know, out of principle, but it effectively is. TA still has her Aegis. Slark has nothing, really. He's gonna go in.
Well, Slark just bought that Echo Saber. He's like, let me try out my new toy. Shadow Dance popped in the middle of it. Maldic is up. They lock down TA. They might kill him, and he will die without the Aegis. Yeah.
Wow, that is really unlucky timing. Okay.
And now
They get that.
it's a reason to stay in the game, if anything.
Especially if we can get something else. Monkey King's kind of prowling. Sunstrike, not going to connect. And Necroman's going for the flank, but I don't know about that flank.
Oh, nice tornado on through. He will buy time for his teammates to come in. He may fall himself, he will, but if they get kills out of this, perhaps it's going to be worth it. That Death War, though, boxing out the Underlord. Now it's going to hit Rasta right there, but he'll manage to stay alive. Treant Protector's trying to stay alive himself. He loses all his teammates, so this could be a complete cleanup, actually, in the end, and it will be a triple kill for Smile to finish it off. I mean, again, a reason to stay in this game, no doubt. We're just talking about possible concede, but definitely not anymore.
Well, I mean, it's still very, very grim for them, don't get me wrong.
Of course.
They have a 12,000 net worth deficit. It really, that entire thing just hinged on the fact that Magical had, like, one of the worst possible Aegis reclamation times, and, I mean, that, like, Comanche had the time, they should know, possibly better than the enemy team. Oh, now DD Rune on Slark. He's looking for TA. He's like, this is too good to be true.
Is this
Isn't there
actually going to be a kill? Sunstrike, it does
Oh.
not hit. If that hits, that's absolutely, but no, he's going to get away. Yeah, that was unfortunate right there. They did have Monkey King with a dust the last second, but without the Sunstrike hitting, they weren't getting that kill. Smile's still sticking around, though. He's feeling pretty confident here, but
He has lasso.
Oh, the Shadow Dance. They know where he is, so it has another Dark Pack coming up right here. Gonna activate it again, but now they're going in further. Overgrowth, I believe, used right there, and eventually missing. And now they're going to turn with a Pit of Malice landing on top of the Sunstrike. Down goes TA and the Treant, and this, I gotta say, this is Comanche a bit of what is the meme throwing out there? The 3-2-2 maybe coming out? No.
Oh yes, that's definitely coming to mind here. I mean, you see a Slark like, oh wow, Witch Doctor. He's gonna go in.
Oh, okay, well, Slark goes down.
That's one
Underlord's
kill.
trying to Uber on out of here. He's gonna bring a couple with him. It looks like the knockback not gonna be enough. And they'll both,
nice try.
and everyone will get away. So, well, they kill Slark at the end, but honestly, those sequence of events, like, that was really good makeup ground for Digital Company.
Yeah, if Mag had been able to get that lasso off before Slark was able to Shadow Dance, then there was no way that DC could have been able to turn that around, but so much energy was spent trying to kill the Slark, and, I mean, Slark could have exited the fight. Once that Wukong's command came out, and the Overgrowth was used, but then immediately Dark Packed it off by the Slark. He could have just left, but he came back, wanted to do a little bit of cleanup duty, and I mean, for what it's worth, it's been working out. Slark has now accelerated his way to tying the Gyrocopter in net worth, which was, I mean, like, Slark has 3 towers to his name, whereas Radiant Team have every outer tower except for one, and a Rax and the tier 3 tower mid, so there's way more tower gold on the side of Radiant, and yet even despite all that, Slark has managed to catch up, and now that Rider dead.
And that's a gem. Dude, are they going to get the gem? They know it's up here. They're pinging it.
Yeah, Slark
Can
could
they?
pounce up. Oh, but the courier snatches it.
Curry's like,
No more
got it.
haste, though.
Oh, I love it. Well played, and it's going to get away. Meanwhile, they're going to find a kill, though, on Treant Protector. He was also being a distraction. You see that bringing over there, Curry. It's like Courier Wars, but the Radiant gets the better of it, so at least they keep the gem. Well played on their side, but this Monkey King also just got a Skull Basher, and we know how significant that is of an item.
Yes, we do. Gotta help me. Yeah, Comanche need to start sticking together as 5. I don't know what Arc is doing right now. I mean, like, he's gonna get away with it, but that was such
Radiant's middle tower is
such
under
a
attack.
dangerous thing to do. There's no real reason to play this aggressive. You have such a lead. You still have a lead. It's not as big of a lead. It went from like 13,000 to 8,000 in a very, very, very short span of time, but they still have a lead. TA is still very, very large and difficult for most of DC to deal with. At this point, yes, now the Slark can deal with TA, but I mean, TA has the items necessary to just eliminate a Monkey King, so make that Wukong's Command Basher just irrelevant, but they need to stick together as 5 and take team fights if that's going to be the case.
God, this Witch Doctor is insanely farmed, man. Freaking Urn, a pipe on top of his Arcane Boots and Buckler. Like, this guy's going to have Arcane or Guardian Greaves here in the near future at this rate.
Yeah, that's pretty absurd. Now, Tsuneko spots out Necroman.
Nice job of that with
Wisely
Ghost
Ghost
Walk.
Walks.
Yeah, I mean, he is playing more of the 4 position to be fair, but still, that's impressive farm nonetheless.
Oh yeah, no, this is the kind of farm that you would dream of as a Witch Doctor, and most typically whenever you dream of it, you dream of getting an Aghanim Scepter, which, I mean, these are some of the longest Death Ward channels I've ever seen against a team with a Rasta. Oh, smoke.
Speaking of Witch Doctor right here, Calldown's going to come up. Not going to save him though in the end. It looks like, although he stays alive a little bit longer, but no, he does fall. Wukong's command now placed. So kind of both teams have these zoning tools here. It looks like that's going to favor the Dire side though, as it will just be the 1 for nothing in the end.
Yeah, but they spent 2 very important cooldowns because they were expecting a full-on team fight. Overgrowth was spent, sure, but Serpent Wards is a way longer cooldown, 2 minutes. Same thing with Wukong's command, not the longest cooldown most of the time. He has it level 13, I mean level 12, and so it's a lower cooldown on Wukong's command, but still those are 2 very, very big teamfight ults in terms of discouraging both high ground attempts and Roche attempts. And well, Roche is up right now.
Oh, they're feeling comfortable, man. Oh my god, that was almost a 3-shot basically on the Invoker. They want more now. They want Monkey King. They're going to get Monkey King. So as you just mentioned, all of a sudden they're not as fearful now fighting into them, and they take advantage of that. Not only a couple of kills, but this very likely is going to be a Roshan now.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that they are going for Roche. Yeah, okay. I think that they should go for mid in this situation, or they should go for more picks.
Yeah, Slark would be always good.
I guess Slark has bought enough time that, yeah, they're just going to go for Roche instead.
Yeah, they'll set up for the Roche kill, get another Aegis here again. It ultimately almost hurt their chances there as far as the last fight, you know, how wearing off when it did, but obviously having the presence of the Aegis going to be very powerful, and that's what allowed them also to help push that top lane in so aggressively earlier on. Meanwhile, Treant's like taking his time, taking out the Shrine over here. And the transition on over.
Yeah, respect the 130 damage, alright?
The slow moving arms of his. Alright, they're going to come over though as a team, take out that Shrine. The bottom Shrine is still up, but taking more and more resources away, of course. And Gyrocopter, by the way, he ended up going to BKB. So we talked about that first item, Ags. Now the BKB. So he's kind of just this. It's almost like he's just a call down use that he just sits in the middle of a fight and just does all this AoE spread damage. Not a lot of it necessarily, but.
Yeah, call down and Rocket Barrage, because every single time that Slark tries to close the gap on the Gyrocopter, he just pops Rocket Barrage, and instantly Slark has to kind of either try to hug his creeps or just pick a different target or go into Shadow Dance. So, I mean, at the minimum, yes, Aghanim Scepter does tank you up a fair amount as a Gyrocopter. So he's been, you know, being able to siege for an extended period of time with this 2k HP, and it allows this TA to be able to dance around the fight more and not be as targeted. But now both cores have BKB, as TA also has a BKB, so there's very little fear on the side of Comanche.
Treant Protector just flying on through with that Nature's Guide's 550 move speed currently. Yeah, so he had that for a split second at least.
Oh wow, what the heck are they doing?
Oh, well, they're getting caught. That's what they're doing. However, nice reaction, though, coming out of the Wukong's command. Thrown in the air is Arc there. He pops the BKB shortly after, but they lost Mag. And now Arc at Half-Life himself. They did kill Rasta in return, so 1-for-1 so far. But Slark in the background, he's going to be able to pick off the Witch Doctor. But now he's surrounded by himself. Here comes the TA for the auto attacks. One more should do it. Yes, down goes the Slark. And Invoker also caught in the midst of it. He's going to be thrown in the air. Does he have a Ghost Walk? I don't believe he does. He did, but he couldn't get it off in time. Possibly had detection anyway, so he will fall. Killing spree indeed for Magical. Double kill for him in the midst of that fight. Sark doesn't have a buyback. Oh, well, they'll pop the Aegis. Okay.
Nice balance strike. I can't believe they got away with that, though. TA was not in that fight. It was mainly just because of an amazingly timed overgrowth by Tsuneko. If Tsuneko didn't get that overgrowth on Slark at the very end, then Slark would have killed off the Gyrocopter, burned through that Aegis, and TA would have come into the fight too late.
Well, this is going to be another set of racks now, so what was looking a little scary all of a sudden for Comanche as far as that previous fight, now it's looking very, very good. In fact, BKB now popped by TA. He's going all in. They will catch Ross in the background, who's trying to lock down the Gyrocopter again, but really no follow-up to be had, so really just a distraction, if anything, but I guess they get the BKB use, but Templar Assassin feeling just fine as a Hurricane Pike, another 3,500 gold saved up, and they're going to make their way to the bottom lane and perhaps try to finish this game even with pushing their tier 2, maybe even trying to get the Mega Creeps on top of that.
There will be a last stand from DC, seeing as
Yeah.
how they were able to do so much work when all of their ults are up, and wow, Slark is going to fight outside. Okay.
Sark is just like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm just going to man mode it like a boss, but not so much of a boss. Invoker's forced to kind of follow up. He ends up melting. And now Smells maybe regretting his decision pretty quickly right here, as well as the team supports. Underlord going to go for their magical TP. That ain't going to work. And Slark's like, well, I didn't die.
Is under attack.
Yeah, this is some vintage CIS Dota right here. Like that play of the gyrocopter, the Treant, and the Bat Rider going up to the Dire Shrine area. You would not see that anywhere else. Meanwhile, gyrocopter getting kind of low. Doesn't have his Aegis anymore.
He is somewhat tanky though. Has support nearby, and now comes the overgrowth to stall them from pursuing any further. So the buyback of Underlord helps to kind of keep them out. That with the Wukong's command. So they're not going to be able to finish the game necessarily just yet. They'll settle for a shrine, though, and reset things right here. Again, a lot of gold, 4,400 gold on Gyro. You got 4,800 on TA. So they're going to have a next bigger and better item before they reset and go into another fight here. Okay, well, at least Mag will get picked off, I guess.
Yeah, and did he drop a gem this time?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't think that Comanche should back off fully, because again, all these teamfight ults were spent in that high ground defense. Shadow Shaman wards are down, Wukong's command is down, and even despite that, DC are going in. See, it's so... You have to change your mindset whenever you cast CIS Dota. They might find TA. She has her BKB, though. Oh, wow. Very quick blink.
The refraction into Blink's just like, nah, I'm good.
What? Wow, Shadow Shaman, the absolute madman.
He's just here to get those hexes off, man. He doesn't care. Yeah, no, it's the mentality, especially at this point. You can tell they're like all in. They're just, you know what? Let's just go YOLO. If we can make a play here, cool. Here we go. There's that play attempt. He will kill Witch Doctor off the bat, but he's up in 10 seconds due to that talent. And now they're going to find Smile in return. TA putting in the auto attacks. Meanwhile, up here, the homing missile coming out as Gyrocopter's in pursuit. That is going to connect to Pablo unless it's killed. And it will be killed by Invoker. But meanwhile, Smile goes down on Slardar, or Slark, excuse me. And all 5 are still up now for Comanche. So, yeah, the all-in mentality, it's entertaining, but clearly it's feeling like Comanche is just a matter of time now before they pull through with the victory right here, as they're just too far ahead.
Poor Rasta. Just wanted to play some wards.
Yeah, how about Rasta? I love Rasta. Rasta's actually one of my more favorite to play heroes, personally. But there's a reason we just don't see this guy. I mean, is there hope for him, you think, in the future? Or does he just need it almost like a rework to be useful, you think?
Rework may be a bit much. I would like to see him like be prioritized in a core role. Oh, Slark yet again. I mean, BKBs are down right now for a little bit longer.
Oh god, that heal though. That heal, man. Witch Doctor stays alive a little bit longer. He finally goes down. They're calling on everything. It's just chaos here in this zone for both sides. But Slark, he's doing plenty. TA, in fact, is feeling the pressure. The Meld's not going to save him there, and actually they will kill TA on top of the Gyrocopters. They catch him. So somehow they're you know, this whole YOLO strat, it's actually it's working in some ways as far as keeping them in the game.
I don't know what the end game is here, though, because I mean, yes, you do continue to defend. Slark did have to buy back, but I mean, as we can see here, Slark does not care what his net worth is. He will go in even if he just had like 3 iron branches. I'm sure he would. So, yeah, I mean, they're buying time for something. Maybe Invoker will get larger, as Invoker has not had to buy back, I believe, yet, and so that's one shining ray of hope. But yeah, he's going for a Lincoln Sphere next. That's not really an aggressive item. It's not a damage item, and I don't really think that the TA will care about a Lincoln's. In fact, I'm pretty sure the only reason he's getting the Lincolns is just for Bat Rider Lasso, and I don't think Bat Rider has been lassoing the Invoker aside from that one shrine kill up in the dire side of the map. Yeah. But yeah, going back to your statement about Shadow Shaman, I would like to see him be prioritized in that core role, because he can, in this game he managed to get a Blink Dagger, which is already impressive for a support Rasta. But the problem is that by the time the support Rasta gets a Blink Dagger, it's a very different window that when a core Rasta gets a Blink Dagger, because a lot of times as a core Rasta you can just straight up get solo kills, because you blink, you use your Serpent Wards, and you shackle, and then like any solo target will be down for the count immediately. Whereas a support Blink is more oriented at trying to get flank attempts and trying to get hexes on valuable targets before they're able to pop BKBs and stuff like that. But you see how squishy the hero is, that even if he does manage to get that initiation, he will almost certainly pay for it with his life, and that means that his other three spells are not going to be used.
Yeah, I would love to see it, and maybe eventually in due time we'll get the chance. But perhaps Wings Gaming at the KF Major. That's something we could always hope for. They like to try this radical stuff.
It's true.
Didn't they do that at TI? Actually, wasn't that a hero of theirs? I think I recall hearing that. Again, I didn't really. That was before I was really in the scene. I remember watching bits and pieces of it, but I don't remember.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Well, again, lately he's just been one of the lower tier heroes, and not to say he's necessarily the biggest issue for this game for them, but no, that's going to help for a Batrider kill at least. So yeah, the Blink Dagger, it's assisting the Slark kill there. And he's dead for 50 seconds, and was that a gem? It looks like it was.
Yeah, it was.
Top of that. So again, hope is still here. Roshan's going to be up shortly. Obviously, both sides going to keep interest of it. And Slark with a Skull Basher. He's now working on a BKB next. So he just has a lot of these middle tier items here.
Middle tier items and ones that are taking him up though. So Echo Saber gives you some strength. Basher gives you some strength. Manta Style was built almost exclusively to deal with this overgrowth from Treant Protector. And so, yeah, he's definitely building for the game and not really being very tunnel vision and be like, oh, I gotta turn this Shadow Blade into a Silver Edge and stuff like that. Now, normally I would see these Serpent Wards be dropped, and I would be like, oh, okay, well, now it looks like Comanche have an opening. And seeing as how Roche is, I mean, did Dire check Roche as they were leaving? Maybe a Sunstrike? Whatever the case, they're not going to have Serpent Wards for a Roche contest. And that's, again, this is one of the disadvantages of Shadow Shaman, is that he is a very, very cooldown dependent hero. Magical should place a trap. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if that trap spotted the duration of the Psionic trap. I mean, I don't know if that Sunstrike spotted the duration of the Psionic trap, but whatever the case. At most, it will be 30 seconds, and it will, in fact, be the most of 30 seconds, which gives time for DC to come and contest, but, like I said, they don't have the Shadow Shaman wards.
Got a Bloodthorn here right now in the TA. Looking to use that. I have Scotty, just recently picked up by Gyrocopter. Medallion from Treant. Kind of going through and looking at some of these items right here. Obviously, that's an illusion that's sent in. Meanwhile, Witch Doctor, he went the full-on mech finish against the Guardian Greaves. Very close to being finished on top of that. So, yeah, Roshan is up, though. Yeah, both sides know it. It's being attempted here by Comanche, and I don't think they're stopping. That's just going to be such a quick Roshan kill, so that'll be Cheese as well. It's going to be picked up by Gyrocopter, the Aegis, that is. Cheese will be picked up by TA for now. And meanwhile, the top lane heavily pushing into the Tier 4 tower. So they'll have to go back and defend that for the time being. So, but yeah, Treant Protector is kind of another one. Like he obviously just got introduced recently into Captain's mode here. And this is, I want to see maybe the third game we've seen him always in this role, as you're talking about, of, you know, kind of being the roaming support there. There was the one game, it was God, that was the 80-minute match that I ended up casting there. It was Alliance, I want to say.
Oh, yeah, I know. I was with you.
Yeah, that was you. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and there was no Aghanim Scepter on the Treant. I was furious. EGM was being a pure team player. He had, like, Solar Crest, Lotus Orb, and all this other stuff, yeah.
Got the Necronomicon, I even think, later on.
That's right. Yeah, at the very end. Oh, smoke.
But there's a lot of time before something like that would happen here. Yeah, look at that smoke, though. Gets around it barely. Slark going in for the flank now. Lacrity's on him. He has a chance for a quick kill. They spot him in the last second, but he jumps in right for TA. I don't know if that's a prime target. Shadow Dance going to be forced to use, if anything. Witch Doctor kind of kiting him around. Meanwhile, kind of a split fight as Shadow Shaman gets locked down by the lasso, but up here they do. No, Slark actually stays alive, but Underlord goes down, and so does the Monkey. Underlord buys back immediately. Slark, though, he's just simply trying to live the whole time. As Necroman on Invoker, he just goes the other direction. He's kiting away.
He's trying to cut the creep wave, but there are already creeps in the base. Basher onto the Witch Doctor, but TA, oh, you're dead.
Wow. Yeah, he just melted right there. I thought for a second that was an illusion, but no, that was a real one. And he is staying to this time, so this
Take
very
objectives,
likely.
please.
No, we want kills.
Gyrocopter,
Pad those
I know
stats.
you have an Aegis.
Starlander does a
Come
great
on.
job of showing stats. They want to pad those stats, man. Look good. Look good on stream.
They do a very good job of that.
Bat Rider, can he live? Oh, he's going to throw himself in the air again with the Eel Scepter. There we go with Mega Creeps, by the way. GGs are now finally called. So I don't know, it's like, I'm out of here. No, it's not going to work. All right, so game number one, you know what? This game could have ended 20 minutes ago, it feels like, but hey, had some entertainment out of it because it was extended. A digital company doing their darnest to make a miracle of sort comeback, but well, it wasn't to be. It wasn't in the cards, and so game one will go to Comanche here, a.k.a. Friends. And they're up 1-0 in the series. So congratulations to them, but still, obviously got to finish off here. 1-0. Ain't the series yet. But Digital Company, you know, showing some signs of hope, but it does feel like Comanche is the better team, though.
Yeah, laning phase is all pretty confidently won by Comanche. Mid-game was, in theory, won up to a certain point, but you know, maybe they were expecting a carry to be actually doing something at 20 minutes with a 4,200 gold item. Yes, granted, at 30-plus minutes once he had Scotty completed, Gyrocopter did finally start carrying, but that is a lot of net worth for a carry to not really be doing very much. So I'm still not a fan of the build. That this game did not convince me anything otherwise, but they won, so what can I say?
Yeah, it goes back to that, right? It's like it's so hard to be too critical when they win in the end. But no, I think your points are very valid, and by no means was his choice of Axe-verse the reason. In fact, when he got that item, they shortly threw after him. Just saying. So,
Very true.
and that happened. But yeah, so they take the first game, though. But ladies and gentlemen, obviously we got plenty more coming, at least game 2 here, and then even a whole another series after this one. But you're tuning into the Star Ladder Invitational Season number 2 coverage here on the broadcast. Anyways, I'm all over the place. I am Breaky CPK, though, and I'm joined by Tsunami here. Game number 2 going to be coming up next.